Boxing remains the most popular combat sport in the world. Over the last decade, we've witnessed several high-profile fights, intriguing feuds, and some big punches. In this video, we'll take a look back at some of the best punches of the last decade. As far as bad blood goes, it's hard to find two men who dislike each other more than Lucas Browne and Dillian Whyte. The Australian Browne came into the bout with a perfect record of 25-0 and was confident of his ability. However, Whyte possessed a terrific left hook, which he used to produce a chilling knockout victory.
We'll try and chuck one more, but he can't, and the left hook leaves him out! Dillian Whyte is victorious, and it's a...
On his way to becoming the undisputed bantamweight champion, Inoue faced former champion Juan Carlos Payano in October 2018. Inoue demonstrated why he's considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world by putting Payano out in just 70 seconds. Australian champion Jao Pitaya finally got the exposure he deserved when he was featured on the Day of Reckoning card in Saudi Arabia.
The latest step here then.
His British opponent Ellis Zorro, although unbeaten in 17 fights, was demolished in just one round.
Big shot! Single shot, left hand. Zorro is out. Zorro is out. That's bad news. He gave an indication of what was to come earlier in the round.
American Andrew Tabiti and Cuban heavy hitter Yuniel Dorticos met for the vacant IBF championship in June 2019.
Touch up, let's get popping.
The Cuban fighter lived up to his nickname, the KO Doctor, in the 10th round by sending Tabiti to dreamland.
Stay there.
Unbeaten Juiki Tatsuyoshi challenged Kazuki Nakajima for his OPBF Super Bantamweight title in December 2024. Nakajima made short work of Tatsuyoshi, needing just 2 rounds to stop the challenger and retain his title. After dropping Tyson Fury in his debut boxing match, UFC star Francis Ngannou believed he stood a chance against Anthony Joshua. However, AJ showed him why he is a 2-time world champion.
Can dispose the MMA champion! It is lights out! Anthony Joshua! Incredible! What a shot! And Ngannou's out cold, ladies and gentlemen. He's not even moving.
Spaniard veteran Kiko Martinez came into the bout against defending IBF featherweight champion Kid Galahad as a massive underdog in November 2021. For the first 4 rounds, Galahad showed why he was the favorite.
You were saying in the build-up how, for all his experience, Martinez will not have faced anybody as...
Good right uppercut, followed by a right. Forced himself onto Kid Galahad, but walking on.
But in a split moment, the 35-year-old Martinez turned the tide.
From Kiko Martinez, and suddenly the man who said at 35 he was all 4 previous rounds had got in the way of Kid Galahad, but he'd taken his foot off the gas, and now suddenly the bell rings at the end of a dramatic round. 4 rounds until a highlight reel right hand and another one, and this time it is all over. 2 pinpoint right hands, one at the end of a round, one at the beginning of a round, and the short reign of Kid Galahad as the world featherweight champion is over. And all of those critics who said this man wasn't worthy of a title shot
Cuban unbeaten prospect Yoenis Tellez displayed his incredible talent and power against his more experienced compatriot Levan Navarro. Although Tellez needed nearly all 10 scheduled rounds, he thrilled the audience with an unforgettable knockout.
On every word there, and then he dropped. Navarro is still out. A left hand from hell, a left hand from Cuba for Yoenis Tellez.
Deontay Wilder is undoubtedly one of the most devastating punchers in the heavyweight division. However, entering the ring with Zhilei Zhang after 3 losses in 4 fights raised questions about his ability to compete at the elite level.
Round 1.
Zhang destroyed Wilder's hopes of a comeback with a brutal 5th-round knockout.
Yeah! Good. Now right there, go with the space you got.
In June 2024, Argentine Guido Schramm and Mexican Vladimir Hernandez met in a 10-round super welterweight bout. Although Hernandez is not particularly known for his power, he ended the fight dramatically in the 6th round with a huge knockout punch. Golden Boy's Jorge Chavez announced himself to the boxing world with his impressive finishes in his early bouts. However, his first-round knockout victory over Brian Perez in his 5th professional fight is unforgettable.
Left hook there from Chavez.
There it is, and down he goes.
A big 1-2 from Chavez. Perez is down, and it's over. What a statement from Jorge Chavez. He came in with a 1-2 piece.
Canelo Alvarez squared off against the hard-hitting James Kirkland in May 2015. As expected, the American fighter came out aggressively against Canelo. But in the end, Kirkland was no match for Canelo's skills and power.
And the big shot, no one.
Right hand, down, and coming back.
And tell him to there he is.
Uppercut, knocks from knockdown. That right uppercut continues to land. There's a perfect straight right hand, and surely's going to stop the fight. What a performance by Canelo Alvarez.
Maybe all things considered, the most electrifying of Canelo Alvarez's career.
In this unusual matchup, Filipino prospect Romero Duno squared off against Indian Kuldeep Danda in February 2019. The result of this gross mismatch was a terrific 2nd-round knockout.
Laban pa rin. Might just go for throw. Oh, what a massive knockout punch! No need for a kill. Kuldeep Danda is put to sleep by ruthless Romero Duno.
After experiencing his first setback against Michael Zarafa, Australian rising star Isaac Hardman returned to the ring to face Bo Hardis in July 2022. Hardman once again displayed his explosive power with a 1st-round KO.
He comes back with 1-2 of his own.
Oh,
that is massive. Oh, that is an enormous shot from Isaac Hardman.
not turning on his side with.
Bo Hardis has been...
After becoming an undisputed champion in the Cruiserweight division, Alexander Usyk made the first defense of his title against Tony Bellew.
Out to the body and landing, also with the right hand there. This is good work from Tony Bellew early on.
It's an excellent start, and he wants Usyk to engage, and so...
The British challenger had some success early on and began to feel himself. It took some time for Usyk to find his rhythm.
We'll see, I mean, it is very close. I've got Bellew ahead because round 2, 3, and 4 was good, but...
Then it was all over by the 8th round.
In this gap with real, minimum effort.
And that's 2 lights out for Tony Bellew. Dave Colwell straight in the ring. And
Not much was expected when South African Zolani Tete defended his WBO bantamweight title against fellow compatriot Siboniso Gonya in November 2017. However, Tete made it an unforgettable matchup by scoring the quickest knockout in boxing history in a world title fight in just 11 seconds.
Avoided man indeed. Oh, and that's the reason why.
Goodness me, first punch of the fight, and it's all over. He's knocked him unconscious. The fight is all over with the first punch of the fight. Extraordinary shot from Zolani Tete.
Louisiana lightweight Mason Menard took on unbeaten Dominican Yudi Bernardo in April 2016. Bernardo was expected to give Menard a tough fight, but it turned out to be a one-sided contest. Menard put the Dominican away with a brutal one-punch knockout in round 3. In a matchup between two former super middleweight champions, Caleb Plant took on Anthony Durrell. There was a lot of bad blood between them as both men desperately wanted to put themselves back into contention. Plant buried the rivalry between them with a brutal 9th round knockout. Ashton H2O Sylvie is a very exciting fighter with incredible punching power. He faced fellow unbeaten Lucas Body from Canada in July 2024. Silva dominated every round of the fight, but in a brief moment of carelessness, he left himself open and was knocked unconscious.
Good right from Body. Another one. Lucas Prince Body has just eviscerated Ashton H2O Sil.
They need to make sure he's okay.
Holy smokes, he was...
French rising star Moreno Fendero took on Argentine Carlos Miguel Ronner in his 7th professional fight. Fendero showcased his impressive power by knocking out Ronner cold in the 3rd round.
Huge left hand, and Ronner is out. A monstrous knockout from Moreno Fendero.
Dylan White had no trouble against Alexander Povetkin for their first meeting in August 2020. The Englishman was in control of the fight from the start, dominating Povetkin for the first 4 rounds. But Povetkin ended the fight suddenly in the 5th round.
Take nothing away from a very good one. Big shot from Alexander is extraordinary. And when Alexander Povetkin was going, you will ever...
Former British super bantamweight champion James Dickens defended his IBO featherweight title against little-known Argentine Hector Andres Sosa.
Perfect shot.
It looked like another easy night for Dickens after he floored the Argentine challenger in the opening round. However, Sosa rallied and scored a terrific one-punch knockout in the 10th round.
Oh no, he's gone. Oh, whoa. Oh my God. Wow, what a shot. Whoa. That was a devastating punch. That was some shot. And again, going back to...
Unbeaten American prospect Terrence Williams has built a reputation for demolishing his opponents early in his fights. However, his first-round knockout victory over Argentine journeyman Jonathan Ariel Sosa has left many in awe of his incredible power.
Good balance and all that. What a left hook! And that is it in round number 1. Bad knockout. Yikes. That's a stiff knockout. Jonathan Ariel Sosa out more than cold, gentlemen.
British contender Chris Eubank Jr. took on Turkey's unbeaten Avni Yildirim as part of the Super Middleweight World Boxing Super Series in 2017. Yildirim has a reputation for ending fights early and was considered a tough test for Eubank. However, the Englishman proved himself against Yildirim, knocking him out in the third round.
Под сердце пробивает, и тут же серия. Чуть-чуть увлекся, Юбанк пропустил, тут же давай, есть падение, еще.
Нокаут.
Да, все, так и завершилось.
Да, конечно.
Ну, рефери сразу же, да, решил не отсчитывать.
Unbeaten Toshihiro Suzuki hoped to claim his 6th professional victory at the vacant Asia-Pacific Super Featherweight title when he ran into Kai Watanabe. The more experienced Watanabe needed only 89 seconds to stop Suzuki. British amateur standout Dalton Smith faced the highly durable Nathan Bennett as part of the Matchroom Fight Camp in August 2020. In what was meant to be his toughest test to date, Smith demonstrated his incredible power with a 5th-round knockout.
His gloves together, Bennett. Right hand, though, was a beauty, and he can't recover from that. He's knocked out here, Nathan Bennett. I don't know why the count.
In February 2021, unbeaten Hemi Akio took on the towering American fighter Julius Long in a rematch. While Akio won the first match by a comfortable decision victory, he made sure that cocky American didn't go past the 7th round in the rematch.
Going the round. Here he goes. And he's down. And he's down. And he's down. He's chopping a tree. The towel is coming. Finally, shot after shot after shot. And Julius Long has dropped Hemi Akio. Had to dig very deep. He is still down.
Flyweight champion Junta Nakatani and Australian Jason Maloney squared off for the vacant WBO junior bantamweight title in May 2023. Nakatani ended the fight with a brutal 12th round KO. When two explosive knockout artists like David Lemieux and Curtis Stevens come together, you get fireworks.
Il est conscient que le mieux va partir canon et sens pour l'envoyer au tapis. Mais là,
After an intense build-up fueled by hatred for one another, Lemieux ended the rivalry with a vicious knockout in the 3rd round.
Classique. Et là, Lemieux.
Il lui a fermé les lumières.
Oh boy.
Anthony Joshua's sparring partner Stephen Addington made his professional boxing debut against Lithuanian journeyman Andrius Ruzas in March 2021. Unfortunately, what was expected to be a walkover for Addington turned into a disastrous outing as Ruzas knocked him out in the 2nd round.
Certainly applies here because there you go. Well, we talked about the possibility on that right hand, and he's got there, and he's not going to get up. He's not going to get up. Well, that is a disastrous introduction to the world of professional boxing, and it just goes to show it ain't a game.
Oh, that was incredible, wasn't it?
The Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, defended his WBA title against Stefan Young as part of the Bantamweight World Boxing Super Series in April 2019. Donaire added yet another impressive win to an already stellar career.
Many guys to be able to evade. And there's a back left hook. Down goes Young on a thunderous left hook.
And they're talking about Nonito Donaire at this 118th. Everybody better watch out.
Good night, Stefan Young. Nonito, my goodness. And now we await, we hope that Young is okay. He's moving.
British rivals Dylan White and Derek Chisora met in a Grudge rematch in December 2018. The first meeting ended in a controversial split decision, but this time around, White left no room for questions as he detonated his vaunted left hook in the 11th round. Following 2 back-to-back losses, former WBC featherweight champion Mark Magsayo moved up to the super featherweight division to face Mexican Isaac Avelar. The Mexican was not afraid to exchange punches with the former world champion, but in the end, Magsayo's power and speed were too much for Avelar to handle. Namibian Olympian Julius Ndongo was given little chance against Russian light welterweight champion Edward Troyanovsky when the duo met in 2016. However, Ndongo needed just 40 seconds to end the show.
Ожидаю, что соперник будет двигаться вперед. О, и это нокаут! Это нокаут! Вот это да! Первым же практически точным ударом.
Левый прямой, точно в челюсть.
Вот посмотрите, точный удар в челюсть в первом раунде, и Эдуард Трояновский проигрывает бой нокаутом.
Former 2-time world champion Anthony Joshua hoped to become a 3-time champion when he challenged Daniel Dubois for his IBF crown. However, Dubois floored Joshua multiple times, and sealed the dominant performance with a 5th-round knockout. Japan's Tyson Koki and South Korea's Deok No Yoon produced one of the most exhilarating one-round fights in June 2024. Yoon floored Koki and seemed to be on the verge of an imminent victory before he was knocked out by a brutal counterpunch. Martin Bakole was brought in as a last-minute replacement against former world champion Joseph Parker. Unfortunately for Bakole, taking the fight with just 2 days' notice did not help at all, as Parker demolished him in the 2nd round.
But he didn't move much.
He just got hit by a big overhand right by Parker. He shook his head like, nah, I didn't feel it.
Oh, no, he felt that one, and the big tree went down.
That was a temple shot by Joseph Parker. We have seen that time and again when guys get hit up there on the temple. Billy Nelson on the red. They're going to wave this off.
They'll wave it off. Joseph Parker just beat the boogeyman.
The first one rocked him.
Amir Khan shocked the boxing world when he decided to move up 2 weight divisions to challenge the dangerous Canelo Alvarez for his middleweight championship in 2016.
Very pro-Mexican crowd on him.
Although Khan made a spirited effort, all it took was one perfect shot from Canelo to end the contest.
That is a cold one-punch knockout. You don't see him often in boxing. We just saw it.
What was your favorite punch in this last decade? Leave your answer in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click on the bell icon for more interesting content.